Here's a thought about some of the compromises we book publishers have to make that photographers don't. Photographers can make a print any size they want, well, at least as big as their printer can make. They can crop it to any aspect ratio they want and mat it and frame it accordingly. But as book publishers, we have some compromises that we have to make because there are some limitations that we just can't get around, not the least of which is the physical size of the book and the page dimensions of the book. And generally speaking, an image can only be as large as the physical book itself or as the page dimensions allow. Except for one exception, and that is a technique that publishers have used forever called jumping the gutter. It's not one of my favorites, but here it is. On this image, you can see the photograph starts on the left, goes across the page where the binding is, and ends up on the right. And this image does two things. One is it jumps the gutter, and it also has a full bleed, which means the image goes off the page to the left and right. This is a technique that allows us to make larger images. But a lot of photographers don't like using jump the gutter techniques because there's that spine that comes right through the middle of the photograph. And it only works when you have an image like this where you can sort of get away with it because there's not a lot in the middle of the photograph. It's a design compromise. Not one I like, one we occasionally and rarely use in LensWork, one that other photographers have no problems with at all and use all the time. It's one of those things to keep in mind when you're working with a publisher to transition your photographs from original prints into published book format or magazine format.